Hi, everybody.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Chris Picard.
I'm Daryl Smith, and this is episode number 1 of Film Banter, which we did, of course, on BidChat.
We did, bidchat.com, the streaming website.
We just want you to realize that the compression factor of the video may not look quite as good as what you're used to in our usual high-def Go Video world.
This was shot before we actually started using a secondary camera, where we were just relying on the archives of the streaming site BidChat for our content.
Beautiful.
So that's kind of what you need to know.
They don't care, but take that into consideration
when you watch our show.
And enjoy.
And this is recounting our top 10 films of all time.
We're fresh, we're young, we're virginal. Take it!
Enjoy!
People of Earth. People of Earth.
I don't see. Look, nothing's moving here, then.
It says live there.
Okay, then we are on.
We'll be working out the kinks, obviously.
We're working out the kinks, obviously.
It looks like we're live.
Do. And all of the night, the kinks, dude. We're working out the kinks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so
I want you to begin.
Yeah, I'm going to. I just want to make sure. I mean, that shouldn't that be going, like, counting the seconds?
I don't know. I mean, you're the...
Well, it says we're live here. I'm going with that.
It says we're live here.
So anyway,
sure?
Welcome to Film Banter. I am Chris Picard. This is my good friend, Daryl Smith.
Hi, Chris Picard.
Yes, hi, Daryl Smith.
Please continue broadcasting the amazing show.
Cool.
Oh, God,
hey,
we're broadcasting the amazing show. Oh, wow, BidChat. We love you.
BidChat is telling us we might have some viewers, so let's hope.
I don't know. I doubt that, though, sincerely.
Well, maybe in a few weeks.
I don't think anybody gives a rat's ass whether we live or die.
But you know what? We're going to grow on him like that fungus on your foot.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
He's so funny.
I know, I tried.
Okay.
So anyway, let me continue.
Move over so you're in the frame. Now
I'm
look
trying
at
to
me,
get in the frame.
my monstrous head, my Jay Leno face,
It takes up more than half the screen. Your hair
and my
takes up too
Matthew
much room.
Perry neck.
I know. Okay, let me talk.
All right, go ahead.
It's my turn.
All right, your turn.
I'll give you your moment in a moment.
Begin the begin.
Okay, so I am Chris Picard. This is Film Banter. We will be talking about movies. We'll be talking about filmmakers and actors, actresses, everybody that we admire, maybe even movies we don't like, actors we're not huge fans of. Regardless, we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a good time, and hopefully you'll chime in with some input. Okay, so a little bit about me. I have been a hardcore movie fan for as long as I can remember. Just been a huge part of my life ever since I was a kid, and just obsessed. So little guy. Started with the Star Wars movies and just
Really?
Progressed.
Is that where it started?
Became an HBO addict. Yes,
Okay.
It's my grandfather used to tape all these cool things.
Your
for me.
grandfather?
My grandfather. I'm from Brooklyn, all of a
You're
sudden.
from
Yeah.
Brooklyn, okay.
So
What's your
anyway,
name again?
Pasquale.
Pasquale.
For now, anyway.
Okay.
So anyway, movies are a huge part of my life, and so
No, nobody gives a rat's ass. That's
hey,
why they're here, because
you
we're doing
kind
a
of
film
thought we should introduce each other, so that's what
I
we're
do,
gonna be
so
doing.
introduce me.
Well, let me finish with me first.
Well, wait, you're introducing you and me.
I'm going to introduce you in a second.
I see.
Anyway.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, big movie fan. That's how him and I met actually years ago. Good Lord, going back 2004, I think it was. I was working at a Chili's restaurant, and he would.
Chili's.
Hey, you were the regular. Don't laugh. That was your diet, not mine.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
He was a regular that would come in after like 2:00 after the lunch.
And after
rush.
Chili's, I was irregular. Get it?
That's true. It was.
Irregular. Yeah.
That food binds you up. That's the whole point. It
It
binds you up.
and then it explodes out of your anus in a
Yes.
rather compulsive digestion.
But that's a
of an
conversation for
explosion.
another show.
It is indeed.
So
Yes.
anyway, I would be working a late lunch shift, and I would see him come in, and we would just.
Yeah, but what made you actually walk over?
Well, I was about to get to that. So anyway, I was
Okay.
serving him. I think I served him maybe 2 or 3 times over the course of the month until I finally had an interaction with him more than just cordial.
This is true.
He was on the phone talking to a friend of his. He had a Premiere magazine sitting in front of him. Yes, a Premiere magazine, a magazine that used to exist.
What kind of magazine was that?
It was a movie magazine.
Okay, because many of these people don't know
They
that.
might not. You look up Premiere magazine, guys. It was a great magazine that a lot of you have missed. It's really good.
You are
Too bad
talking-
it's.
You're talking very quickly.
I
So
talk
that was
fast.
Premier Magazine was
That's what I
the name of the
said,
magazine.
Premier
There
Magazine.
were many magazines back in the day. Please continue your
Yes.
banter.
Okay. Yeah, you can be my ventriloquist dummy. I'll just do it like this, and you can put
Okay.
your hand up my ass if you want.
All right.
So anyway, yeah. So we started talking about film, and I saw that the magazine was there, and I kind of saw that as an introduction. And the rest is history. We've been friends now, got 12 years
About
roughly.
12 years,
yeah. And
yeah.
then once
Too
I
long.
stopped working
Yeah, too
there,
long. Way too long.
we would just. I know it was. I put up with a lot.
Yeah.
We just go
You
to
put
lunch.
up
we go for lunch maybe once or twice a month, and we would talk film. And we've always kind of said,
we always talk movies.
We should have a fucking show where we
should
talk
have
about
a fucking
movies.
show where we talk about fucking movies.
And so here's our show. So this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be evolving. You guys are here for the beta testing phase, but this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to keep him at a good, manageable level. But for now, I'm letting him loose. So now it's your turn.
I'm loose now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first I'd like to talk about my friend here, Chris Picard. You may note the Picard family is basically came from people who wanted to plow into their noses on a very intense basis. They don't pick easy, friends. They pick hard.
Yeah, I've
that's
never heard
right,
that
like
before.
this.
All right.
You never have?
I'm joking. Of course.
Oh, of course he's heard that. He picks hard. Okay.
I've heard it all.
I bet you have too. Well, basically, you know, the story goes, I met Chris. Yeah, he was working at Chili's there. He was doing a thing. But my most memorable moment of Chris Picard, and this is a fine young lad, if I may say. Of course, I'm older now in the years that I've come on. I have turned into a bit of an older folk. I did get a haircut today for you people, though. So screw you if you don't like it.
And we really can't tell.
I know, nobody can tell.
He's got quite a head of hair.
I do have lots of hair. And of course, in the
he makes Ronald McDonald look like a balding person.
I know. And yes, the drapes do match the curtains, my friend. And the curtains do match the drapes. Oh, God, yes. Although there may be a little frost in the basement, if you get what I'm saying.
Cobwebs?
No, not cobwebs, but more of a whitened essence of tip regional area, which has been exploded into an older generation sort of thing. But that's neither here nor there.
I think I'm going to lose my dinner.
So I met Mr. Picard, whose nose is a rather cavernous thing that he picks hard. No, I'm terribly sorry. But so I met him at Chili's, yeah, basically. But the most memorable moment that I had, and that we've talked about as the years have progressed and gone on, was the time that I was actually going to see a Star Wars film. Chris, which film was it?
It was the third prequel, Revenge of the Sith, at the Nyack Palisades movie.
Does that tickle when I do that?
No, but I don't like what you're doing now.
Okay.
You're the one with the vagina neck. Do it to your own neck.
My own neck. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm fingering myself right now.
Oh,
that's rather crude and rude. There might be children watching, and yes, you'll have to learn this when you hit high school. So, you know, it's part of the deal. But all right, so I was going to see Revenge of the Sith, and suddenly I was walking very briskly into the cinematic room. And there's something I do want to talk to you all about in just a moment here. I'm going to make a quick reference to that. But first, this is our first show, damn it. But yeah, suddenly I heard a voice behind me going,
hey, it's Chris from Chili's. Because I couldn't remember his first name, unfortunately.
Yeah. Daryl. Yeah, it's a hard name to remember.
At that point, we had only met maybe a handful of times, and we were communicating like Mr. Smith. I don't know. I forgot his name. Go figure. Believe me, I never forgot it. He never let me forget that moment.
I didn't?
No.
Yeah, but that was a memorable moment, actually.
I'm not saying it was a bad moment, but you've never let me forget it.
No, it was a good moment, actually. It's Chris. Hey, it's Chris from Chili's. Yes. And I go, who?
And I was,
who the fuck is that?
Oh,
yeah.
Pre-pubescent voice, apparently, given
you talk like this. Yeah, that kind of a Jerry Lewis kind of a growl thing there. But it was intense and so forth and so forth. But yes, Chris and I do love movies. There's no doubt about that. We've always had that in common. I had no idea what kind of invested worth the man has in his brain until I did walk into that very vested Chili's that sublime day. And I had my premiere magazine open, and there was Christopher go, oh, look at this. Oh, he's over there. And he noted everybody, and he talked about films that were coming out and were going, and I suddenly went, oh, my God, this man knows movies. Yeah. And suddenly he said to himself, probably the same thing, or he said, this guy is an asshole, is probably what he really said. But at the same time, there was a definite motivational thought process that we were in tune.
That's true.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here I am, an old fart of a man. I'm old and suddenly decrepifying.
You look like Quasimodo.
I know. Thank you. Just call me Quasi. Yeah, it's like Quasimodo. He fell out of the tower. Nobody said, who the hell is that guy? I don't know, but his face rings a bell. Boing!
Oh, my God. All right, I think you need to sell. I think you had too much caffeine today.
Your phone. Well, you tried some of this, dude. Dude, you tried some of this. Here. Chris, have some of this.
After the broadcast.
Okay, thank you. So basically that was it. So tonight's show, we are going to be talking about our top 10 favorite films of all time. This is to give you a historical kind of a bypass, if you would, a kind of an invested worth of who we are as humanoids and what we like and the kind of films that possibly you might like too. Then again, you might hate these films and say, well, we don't even listen to these guys because they suck.
There's even a chance you might have not seen these movies, and that's okay. There's a chance we might have not seen some of the movies on each other's list, although that's probably unlikely. He's probably seen everything. I might not have seen a couple of movies. I have no idea what he's going to bring up. But he's got like what 30-something years of movie watching ahead of me, unfortunately.
Well, is that true? It's not
That's
quite
awesome.
that many.
Yeah.
Actually, it is.
Yeah, I mean, you could be my father. Thank God you're not. But
I
you
bet
could be
your
my father.
grandfather too, you know.
Yeah.
It is truth, but yeah, there is definite essence of that.
Yeah.
That
But that's
spectacular
good. I mean,
moment of
you're an
thought process.
encyclopedia.
I'm an encyclopedia, but a walking man.
I'm an encyclopedia in my own way, but not like you.
film carnal crapola.
I think the point is, if we were on Jeopardy as a movie trivia team, we'd be unstoppable.
If they only had movie categories.
Yeah, they do occasionally, not enough,
Very
not a whole
rare.
show.
Actors in their roles.
Yeah,
that's all you see
I
on
know.
Jeopardy.
But anyway.
But all right,
we
well,
digress.
tonight we do. In fact, you might note that my head is much larger than Chris's.
Well, you're sitting closer to the
because
camera.
I'm sitting closer to the camera.
Yes.
Chris is further back. He's not, in fact, a leprechaun. He's, in fact, a full-size human.
That's true.
In fact, how
Thank
tall
God.
are you, Chris?
About 5'10", as you say, the national average.
Well, I'm 5'10.5", which is the national
okay.
average. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
what
good
Johnny
for you.
Carson used to say
I
many years
see.
ago. Many years ago. All right, so we're going to talk about our top 10 films. I want you to start with your first movie of your top 10.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Right now. So I'm just going to just do a little preface saying that
Little preface.
it's very hard to compile a list of your top favorite movies because, God, I mean, there's so many movies that I love that mean a lot to me. So putting it in a list of 10, specifically any kind of an
Okay, I'm
order
going to
was a
sit back now.
challenge.
You lean forward.
Yeah, oh, that's a good idea.
You lean forward.
So anyway, so I've done my best to kind of give it some kind of a organization to it, but at the end of the day, it might be more freeform. Anyway, my favorite, but I'm going to put it at number 1 is the original Star Wars trilogy, and yes, I'm putting 3 movies as one because
God.
shut up. These are movies that
That's unfair.
Why is it unfair?
Because you're putting 3 movies as one.
That's how I do it. I've always considered them one big movie, and
Really?
yeah, because I'm not going to take up 3 spots.
All right. Now
It's
you're
one
talking
big
about
the original 3, not
the
the
original.
prequels. The prequels don't exist in my opinion.
All right.
I love those 3. What can I say? I mean, those are the movies that I grew up with watching the most. They're the movies that made me love movies. I mean, it's
Really?
just
Okay.
yeah. I mean, we're different generations here. For you, it might have been
We are
Planet of the
indeed.
Apes. When you that kind of a big like
Yeah.
spectacle.
No,
you know?
that was a family film for me.
Home movies.
Yeah, that was home movies.
Yeah.
Just watching.
I had a feeling.
Roddy McDowell with those ingratiated,
With that weird
lumpy
makeup that's
cheeks.
kind of creepy.
It was kind of creepy.
Yeah. How about that scene when Charlton Heston kisses her? That's really disturbing.
Oh, I love that though.
Yeah, strange.
It was kind of odd
Simian
indeed.
sex. I guess.
And every once in a while, I'll see a human being on television
That
or
looks like
whatever,
that.
and then I'll say to myself, God, this person actually looks like, they've got
Yeah.
a little makeup from the Planet of the Apes. I don't want to point out names because that would not be a nice.
That wouldn't
thing
be a
for
nice
us to
thing to
do.
do.
Linda Hunt,
Don't say that.
Linda Hunt, that little.
She's a wonderful. person.
She's a wonderful person. I love her as an actress.
She's great.
But as a visual piece of work, she's a strange looking woman, and yet unique at the same
But at the
time,
same
and
time,
a
honestly-
wonderful actress. She's on, what is she on, CSI?
Oh, she's on the CSI
SUV or
LA, right? No, she's
or
NCIS Los
Sonic
Angeles. NCIS Los Angeles.
NCIS, there
Yeah,
you go.
With what's
There
his
you go.
name?
She's
Chris
dynamite. I
O'Donnell.
do love the woman. She did win an Oscar many years
She
ago.
did.
Many years ago. What movie did she win for?
Oh, I know. It was oh shit, I know this movie too.
It was a Mel Gibson film.
Yes, no, I know. It was
I believe it was from 19.
Yeah, the Year of Living Dangerously, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Very good,
Yeah.
Seth.
So back to my Star Wars movies. I love those movies. I grew up watching them for obvious reasons. You probably all know why I love those movies.
Yeah.
They're just so much fun, and it's great. And
They're
you can
fun.
just sit
yeah.
there
Are
and
they
just have a
serious?
blast.
Are they serious cinema fans?
No,
Yeah,
but
they're not.
look, come on. We can have fun with movies and they can still be a favorite. They don't have to be JFK. They don't have to be Blade Runner. They can be fun.
Okay.
You and I have had conversations about bullshit movies that are crap.
Listen, you're
but they're
entitled to
fun.
like whatever you like.
I appreciate
There
you
you
giving me the
go.
permission.
I give you permission.
So anyway,
to like
there's no
whatever it
reason to
is you
linger
like.
on the Star Wars movies because we all know them.
We all know them.
Why don't you do your first one?
We've all seen them.
We've
But
all
I'm going to
seen
pull out my little list, but I don't need to, actually.
them.
I'm going to put my first film on here, and it's a demented piece of work by one of my favorite directors. And of course, I'm basically alluring to this man.
Can I guess what it's going to be?
Yes.
Is it Blue Velvet?
It is Blue Velvet by David Lynch.
It's a great film.
I love that film. It is a sick film, and
Unique.
it never fails to shock me
Yeah.
every time I see it. The specific violent nature, the pure, unabashed evil of the Dennis Hopper character. When he's kind of doing his thing on poor Isabel Rossellini that very first time, and we see that abuse and that horrifying sense of, and of course, once again, I kind of grew up with that because my family was so fucked up that yeah, it really was true. And in fact, just to give a little brief, as you talk about, the Star Wars films when you were a kid and so forth, the reason I turned to movies as I did, I have to thank a specific human being.
Who's that?
I was in high school. This man's name was Bob Manis, Robert Manis, and he was amazing. And I remember during social studies class, one specific day rather, during class, he made me a bet that he could name all the Humphrey Bogart films. Okay, now this is basically a 16-year-old kid. So I was very impressed. So, and he did. There are 75 Humphrey Bogart films. He named every single one. And I bet $10. I wrote them all down. And then that night I went and I checked them all out and made sure that what he was saying was correct. And he was. So I thank you, Bob Manis, wherever you are. The last I heard, he was actually working at the Metropolitan Opera House. And he was kind of a behind-the-scenes guy. But he was just a great guy. And he knew his stuff.
He's probably dead now, right?
No. He's my age. So he shouldn't be dead.
Oh.
I would think he'd be alive.
For some reason in the story, I thought he was a teacher of yours.
No.
He was somebody of your age.
A student.
Oh, with you.
He was 16, 17 years old.
I'm sorry.
He was a kid.
For some reason, I thought
like
you were referring to a teacher giving you some movie.
Hell no.
Oh.
Hell no.
Good.
No, I'm talking about Robert Mass, and he was a great guy. But I do love Blue Velvet. I do love. I just love the whole opening. I like the journey. I like it's a 2-hour film. Has some of the most beautiful music by Mr. Angelo Badalamenti. Mysteries of Love, the theme, it just moves me to tears at times. And
I love the Roy Orbison moment. That was great.
That was great.
Fun
that was
scene.
Great. Dean Stockwell just doing his.
It's such a memorable movie. There's nothing else like it.
It's so unique. It's so bizarre. It makes you cry in one moment and makes you laugh and just feel total horror in the next millisecond. Within the course of a minute, David Lynch can rearrange your chromosomes and your world.
I mean, just Eraserhead alone is like, what the hell did I just watch?
Well, Eraserhead's more of a
experience.
It's almost a one-note film, though. It's just weird, almost.
But for a student, it's the young guy
very
to
true.
be able to do that.
Some
amazing
movies,
skill.
You do get the feeling that they're weird for the sake of weird.
Yeah.
And
so
many
Todd
Lynch,
Solondz, for example, is kind of like that.
Well, so many Lynch imitators, they're just weird for the sake of weird. They want to be David. They want to just completely go into that whole hyper alternate mindset world.
Yeah.
And nobody does it like Mr. David. So I do appreciate him. And that's going to be my first film. It doesn't. I do want to make one point for both Chris and myself, and that is that these films are not necessarily, I can't really say what my favorite film is of all time.
It's hard.
So we're kind of lumping them into a top 10 just to basically give you humanoids.
The gist of our taste.
And you subhumanoids too. Yeah. Just a feeling for precisely where we're at and to see if perhaps these films might be appreciated by you. Who gives a rat's ass? But
I do have a point I want to make about Blue Velvet while we're on it.
Okay.
You think there's an argument for, as amazing as Dennis Hopper's performance is, do you think that it hurt his career a little bit, that role? Do you think it was too real, too good? Did he unfortunately get pigeonholed, or do you think he scared the shit out of people? Like, we don't know what to do with this guy.
No,
because he was up for an Oscar for that, if I'm not mistaken.
He very well may have been. I think not. I think it enhanced his career.
Yeah. I hope
In
so.
fact, I think
feel like
that
he disappeared.
David Lynch. I like what Quentin Tarantino does, and he just pulls actors out of the woodwork, out of obscurity, and he gives them work, and he loves acting. He loves actors, and I just like the way he appreciates film, and I think David Lynch did that too, to some extent. I mean, he was a little bit more mainstream at the time.
Yeah.
Elephant Man, that was a pure proof that certainly Eraserhead was no fluke. I mean, he just took the black and white genre and not genre, but the black and white.
It's a heartbreaking movie.
It's a heartbreaking film. It's just.
I remember the first time I watched it I was a kid. My family and I, we were on a business trip with my dad in the summer. We were all in the hotel room one night at night. We were trying to go to sleep. But him, my mom, and I, and my sister, we were just watching an Elephant Man in the hotel room.
Oh, my God.
And we were all just like transfixed. I mean, I remember my older sister, Carrie Ann, was watching it the whole time. Every time something mean would happen to the main character, she would just be like, why are they doing this? It was just, it was so real. And the performance of John Hurt, I mean, he didn't win an Oscar, did he?
Well, he didn't, but
that was an amazing performance.
It was an amazing performance, but it was, he was burdened by
the makeup, of course,
by the makeup and so forth, and that full body scene when Anthony Hopkins is showing
when they're in the
him,
class setting, right?
Oh, the class setting, and he's showing him to the group people.
It's just
mind blowing,
something amazing,
amazing piece of work. Yeah, heartbreaking, truly.
That's what's great about film. You feel these things, and it takes you there, and you're in it, and you're there for 2 hours, and you're in this world, and then it ends. You're just like, oh my God, like, what did I just see? And it doesn't have to be something that's heartbreaking. It could just be something that's moves you. If you've ever seen it before, like there's
true.
some of the.
That's why we love.
Yeah, that's one of the marks to me of a movie that has impact. Is that when I'm sitting in the theater, and I just don't move for a few minutes. I just sit there, and I sit there through the credits, and I let it wash over me. And my next movie, my number 2, happens to be one of those movies.
Which is
Pulp Fiction. It's a movie that changed my life.
Pulp Fiction. Oh,
it changed
I'm so shocked.
I know. It's just, what can I say? It's a mainstream movie.
No, it
but
is.
I had never seen anything like that. I was a sophomore in high school, and that movie was.
Try this.
No, not right now. Okay. And it was just blew me away. I didn't know. I'd never seen filmmaking like that before. It was so raw. It was so smart. The dialogue was so cool. And that was before I saw Reservoir Dogs. There's a Reservoir Dogs after.
Oh, okay.
So that was my Tarantino introduction. I
go.
didn't know anything about him until I saw that. And then I was just obsessed, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, we understand. I'm going to bring a back scratcher.
Well, it's just that I'm sitting at, you know, I should just.
Why don't you sit up or get a neck? Get a neck brace, and we'll put it on you. Then you won't see it.
I have to lean forward here so that I can be in the screen because we have this. I thought we were going to enlarge this. In fact,
I thought we could make it bigger, but I guess we can't.
Okay.
So, well, you know, we'll make the best.
But perhaps maybe we shall some other time.
Anyway, back to Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
I mean, I'm naming a movie everybody knows, but it just changed my life in a way that I became obsessed with his writing. I read the screenplay like 20 times. That's how I learned to write screenplays, was by reading the Pulp Fiction screenplay. Sure. And I just learned so much about dialogue, how you move a scene along.
Yeah.
You watch the acting, you watch these characters, these kind of like lowlives in a way of Los Angeles, but at the same time, you're drawn to them. And they're talking about everyday things, and they might be going to kill somebody, as you know, from the opening scene.
Yeah.
And that was a whole trend. And then you got that whole, just like we had the David Lynch imitators, we had a whole 5, 6, 7 years through the late 90s of the Tarantino imitators that were trying to duplicate his style. And they just couldn't do it.
Still imitating him.
Well, yeah, of course. But that just shows you the impact that certain filmmakers have on the industry.
True. And once again, to go into that whole world of giving actors a break, John Travolta, career was kind of.
He was box office poison before.
Box office garbage, and then he gets a nomination.
Yeah, and then he gets some of his best work after that, which is great.
Yeah, and he's still working to this day.
He's still working, and he's still doing decent stuff. I mean, I thought he was really good. Yeah. I didn't get to finish the season, but what I saw of the OJ series, he was great. Yeah.
And he does a lot of stuff down at the local bathhouse too.
Well,
and of course, we all appreciate that, John. Thanks so much.
Sure, yeah. And the cruise ships, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. I guess the man gets around. Allegedly.
But anyway, he's still an icon. He's still fun to watch. You know, I think he hams it up a little too much when he plays a villain, Travolta. I like him.
Well, you're talking about OJ when he played the.
Well, no, I'm talking when he plays like a villain. You know, like for example. Face Off was decent, but then after that, he was doing like Swordfish, and he was doing a couple of things where I just felt that it was a little too much. I like the more subtle, you know. But anyway, we're going off.
You can never blame an actor for being.
The director gives him free rein.
No, not always. The director.
A lot of times, they'll say that's good. Go do it.
Actors are given 12 different takes, and they might be told
sometimes
to
more or
give
less.
It all, or more or less, or so. Yeah. But you know, it all comes out in the editing room, and. That's where everybody, you know, kind of becomes the actor that they, you know, supposedly the continuity.
You can kind of an editor can save a bad performance.
Absolutely,
definitely.
It can make or break a film.
It kind of can.
So true. Look at these little wings on my head.
If the editor doesn't have,
fly away now.
Fly. Aren't you a little old for that?
No, I'm not.
I think you are.
A little old for what? For what?
For flying away with your hair.
Flying away.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Flying away.
Why don't you do your second movie?
Oh, okay.
You have to refer to your list?
Yes, I'm going to look at my list
Your dossier?
Look away. Look away.
I can't read your handwriting.
You can't. Either can I. Okay, my second film is, of course, Mr. Roger Ebert's favorite film. And he's dissected this frame by frame in a course that he gave in the Chicago area. The name of the film is, Chris?
Is it Citizen Kane?
Correct.
Yeah, of course. This is a great film.
Look, you can see the hole in my teeth
Let's
right there.
not look at your teeth.
Look at that hole right there. Look, I'm beginning to echo.
Why don't you do that on a private big chat show where we look at your teeth?
All right, anyway. So,
thank
you. I appreciate your concern for my dental abilities.
Well, I'm more concerned for the viewers' the viewers' ability to keep their dinner down. That's my concern. Go ahead.
Okay.
Casablanca.
My second film is Casa Citizen.
Yeah. Yes.
Citizen Kane, I do love the film. There's no question about it. Mr. Orson really just outdid himself, and I do love the movie. I just love the black and whiteness of it. Once again, we're going from
so stark.
It's a stark, yeah, but it's not just stark. There's heart, there's warmth.
Yeah. I didn't mean stark in a bad way. It's just like it's striking, you know.
It is striking. It is indeed.
He did vent camera moves for that movie. He did camera placement.
Oh my
the
God!
Floor.
It's a piece of work, and I don't really need to go into it too much.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Dave Clark 5, 1975. Actually, 1968. That's a song by them. I totally de-rule. I completely embargoed my train of thought by a riddled caboose, if one might say. But yes, I've always been a huge Citizen Kane fan. I do love the film. I've seen it many, many times. At least once a year, I like to put it on and undress and dance naked in front of the television.
I'm glad I'm not here
because that always makes me very happy to do. And I'm now going to fly away with my little things as Chris gives his next film. Oh,
yeah, Chris, I'm going to consult my list here because I don't remember what the third one was.
Oh, really? He doesn't know.
Yeah.
See, young man has no fucking memory.
You're probably not going to really care much for it.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorite movies.
Yes.
And I will say this. The main thing for me.
Please say this.
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
I'm going to say a lot more.
Please say this.
For me, a big gauge of what is a great movie, for me.
It's a gay movie?
Great movie. Great movie.
No, I thought you said gauge.
No, gauge. A good gauge for a great movie. Gauge. You're aware of what the word gauge means.
Gauge is a gauge.
It's a level for measuring.
You put it in a tire to find out what the pumped ratio of that tire is.
Exactly.
So right, go ahead.
For me, if there's a movie it's on, and every time it's on, no matter how many times I've seen it, if I have to leave it on, that to me is a sign of a movie that I love.
The Wizard of Oz.
No, not even close.
Heat.
I know you don't love it, but I love it.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's one of the best movies. I love it.
Really?
I don't know why you don't like it. I love Michael Mann.
What's that in the corner there?
That is a shadow of I don't know what.
That's a shadow of some strange
I don't know what that is. Don't worry. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I don't know. I'm going to put this here now.
I think it's something
I don't
on
know
the
what
screen.
is that.
Don't worry about it. It's on
the screen.
It's on the interface. Don't worry.
Hello. What are you?
Can I
want
speak?
to know. Yes,
I need to speak.
All right.
So if you haven't seen Heat, don't worry about what he says. You have to see it. Michael, get out of here. People love this movie.
People don't love this film.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
they do.
But
yes,
go ahead.
They do. Heat,
well,
Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, crime
and
film.
Mr. Pacino. Yeah.
Directed by Michael Mann.
Michael Mann film.
It is an exceptional crime movie. It is a movie that is so engaging and so enveloping that you're just in that world. It's like he shoots LA at night like nobody ever has. And he does the same kind of photography with Collateral, which looks beautiful. It's just such a great morality tale. It's a story of tragedy. It's a story that's so full of characters.
So full of characters.
You mock my review.
I'm not. I'm kind of like doing, like the sign language for you.
Are you?
So go ahead.
No, I don't want your sign language. I really don't. You know what I want? I want your impression of a mute.
All right, there you go.
That would be wonderful.
All right, so you've talked about it.
Yeah.
I personally recommend Thief.
Thief is also good. An earlier
Michael Mann film. Much better film in my humble
would disagree
opinion.
that it's better.
I think
it's good and different in a different way.
Well, listen, if you have trouble sleeping, put on Heat. It's almost 3 hours long.
I love it. I'll take
3 hours long. Oh my God!
It's great.
Please.
If you look at the cast of that movie, it's incredible. There's like 30 noteworthy actors in that movie.
My scrotum becomes a Rubik's cube during that. It just kind of does somersaults.
You want to fall asleep? Put in The Taste of Cherry. It's one of the worst films ever made.
Taste of Cherry.
Yeah, check that out. I had to watch that in film class in college.
Taste of Cherry. Who's that?
The whole movie. It's a foreign movie. The whole movie is this guy driving around a desert to try to commit suicide. It's terrible.
Really?
It's horrible.
Taste of Cherry.
And then at the end of the movie, I'm not even going to ruin it.
That's actually a line from Planet Terror, because her name is Cherry.
No,
Rose McGowan's name is Cherry.
Maybe he took
you
it
said
from
Taste of Cherry.
Yeah.
No, I doubt that.
No, I know. But
how old is Taste of Cherry?
I don't know. I saw it.
I'm going to bite this thing on my nail now. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a 90s movie because I had this film class I'm thinking of was like, I think it was in 97, and that's when I saw it. So I think it's a mid-90s film.
Really?
I think it's from
Who's in the film?
Nobody I would know. I think it's a film from India.
Nobody you would know?
Or from the Middle East.
What about them? Do they know?
Hey, if anybody knows who the star is of Taste of Cherry, without looking it up on IMDb, I give you credit.
Yeah, but
if anybody's even watching, I think we have maybe 9 views, 10 views.
We have a next caller in 3.0 minutes. I know, isn't it wonderful?
That's telling us when the calls can come in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
10 views.
It says we have 10 right here. 10 views.
They're lying to us.
They're
lying. You're not watching this rubbish.
Well, maybe they're going to turn it off now.
Maybe they won't. There's you little peons. What are you doing there? You've got nothing else to do, as do I.
You're
or
doing
him. We have nothing else to do.
You're doing a wonderful impression of a curmudgeon.
All right.
Do your third movie.
My third film, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go into the Hitchcockian world.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
that's not a
You're gonna
cock
start
you want
boring
to,
people
it's
now.
not a cock you want to hitch up to. But let me tell you this, Alfred is one of the finest directors ever, in my humble opinion. And I'm going to go with the film. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know which one I'm talking. Jim, our store and Grace Kelly, and there's a great film. You know the film?
I mean, he did a few movies with Hitchcock. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Are you thinking North by
I'm
Northwest?
sorry, your time is up.
Which one? Which
No,
one?
that was Cary Grant.
That's Cary Grant. I'm sorry.
No, this
Which
is.
one are you thinking of?
I'm thinking.
Vertigo?
No.
I don't remember.
The name of the film is called Rear Window.
Oh, of course, Rear Window.
Of course, you
Yes,
fools,
I love
you
that.
fools, you
With
fools.
Raymond Burr.
Raymond Burr is the
Yes.
bad guy in this film. It's a wonderful film, but this movie is a incredible.
It's
Have you
very well
seen
done.
the film?
No, yeah, I saw
Okay.
it. I saw it 20 years ago. But
It is
great.
not one film, ladies and gentlemen. It is like 8 films because we have a microcosm of the world in the apartment building across the way.
Yes.
As that is Jimmy, a store looking out. He's broken his leg, and he's looking at the world through his binoculars, and he's seeing Miss Lonely Hearts down there. And then there's the newlywed couple up there. See, I'm pointing.
Why
but
don't you sit back?
the camera is not picking me up. But that I have to look at the horrifying neck. But I
Don't worry
don't
about it.
care.
You have to accept
I
your
don't
appearance
care. You're
and
going
embrace
to
it.
take myself now. That's right. But anyway, I do love the film. It's just a great little movie. And if you haven't seen it, it's just magnificent. Grace has never looked more lovely and more beautiful.
I think we're really boring these millennials with
Yes.
these old movies.
No, I don't think so. I think it.
I hope we're not.
It tells the world exactly who we are.
It does.
And so forth. And
Well,
so
you know,
forth.
we need that juxtaposition because we need your input from your generation.
Right,
You
I
need to
mean,
represent these
yeah.
older movies because
Precisely.
I didn't grow up. Believe me, I've tried to watch a lot of older films, but I
I
didn't grow
know.
up with them the way you did.
Well, you've heard of Beethoven, but you really don't give a damn who he
No,
is.
I have a whole box set of Beethoven in my car.
Oh, do you?
I love classical
well,
music. I
bless
love
you.
Beethoven. Vivaldi's my favorite.
Bless you, my child. For
But
you
we're
have-
not going to discuss
for you have
classical
sinned.
music.
See, but he only really, now I'm not going to say you only, but you do focus on films more during your
Of course, and
lifetime.
isn't that our experience?
Well, no, not
you know?
necessarily, because I've delved back. I mean, a little bit, but I'm not going to say I'm better or this or
No.
it's opinion is opinion is opinion, and like assholes,
I mean,
most of them stink.
I have a lot of older movies that I like, but they're not my
Yes.
favorites. I mean,
There you
I
go.
love Taxi Driver. That's from the 70s. That's not as old as something from the 50s, but
No, it's not.
you know.
No, he's got you there.
But you know, I do love Casablanca. It's a great film.
It's a great
I
movie.
love that one
too.
a lot. It's a very good film.
All the gin
Um,
joints.
Inherit the
Rupture
Wind
the
is
mind.
very good. You know what I loved also was
You know why Humphrey Bogart used to do this all the time, ladies and gentlemen? He used to do this move right here. He used to do like that.
Why
all
did
that.
he do that?
You can't quite say.
Enlighten us.
Now, this is the truth, because his upper teeth were actually dentures, and he
Oh, that
was
makes
trying to
sense.
hold them in. So he did that kind of lip thing. He said, "I have all the gin joint in all the world." But people thought it was a tough guy thing, but in essence, it was not. He was
He was
just holding at his
saying-
upper
he was
teeth.
doing practice. He's being practical.
It's like George Washington. Whenever you see that picture of George, that
Yeah.
same photograph where he's kind of standing there, and I think his hand is no, that's Napoleon. But he's standing there in your classroom in your kindergarten room or whatever. But you always see his mouth closed. He never had a painting done with his mouth open because he had really bad wooden teeth. Like I will have eventually.
Okay.
But I'll get you and your little teeth too, you sons of bitches. But anyway, so please, have you
Yeah.
done your third film?
No, I'm waiting. Are you finished?
I don't know. Rear Window, great movie. Check it out. It's
Okay.
1955, 54, something like that. I think
My-
it's 55.
Next favorite film is another movie you're probably going to shit on.
Oh
but
my God.
I love The Fugitive.
I'm going to take a dump right now.
Quiet. The Fugitive, Harrison Ford and Andrew Davis
No, it's a
film.
great
I
movie.
love it. I know this is probably going to be travesty what I'm about to say. I wish it won Best Picture in
Okay.
1993.
Oh,
Yeah, Schindler's List is amazing.
my pacemaker just went dead.
But Schindler's List, it's an important film. It had to win Best Picture, of course.
And it-
but
It was a great movie.
it really was. But the replay value of Fugitive is much more.
I know what
because
you're
it's
saying.
so fun.
I know.
It's captivating. Every time it's on, I just can't turn it off. I've seen it 100 times and still have to watch it.
It's the Gandhi E.T. situation.
I just love
E.T.
it.
is a better film, more fun to watch. But Gandhi won Best Picture.
You know what though about E.T.? I can't watch it.
Oh, really?
It's a great film, but that scene when he's dying
Oh,
in the
that's tough to
ravine
watch.
and he's all white, it's disturbing. It's
I know.
disgusting. I applaud them for making that image, but I
I
can't
know.
watch it. It disturbs me. As a kid, I was scarred by that.
Really?
But it's a great film. But Fugitive is so much fun. It's
Yeah.
so much fun.
It's
The
so
Cat
much
and
fun.
Mouse is great. Tommy Lee Jones, top of his game. Harrison Ford, top of his game. I love all the banter between Tommy Lee Jones and his minions and his guys.
No, it's great.
It's just such a
put a
fun
totally
movie.
different twist. Tommy Lee put a
It's
totally
great.
different twist on that cop persona and so
The
forth.
soundtrack,
And
fantastic.
yeah, it was great stuff.
It's a great film all the way. It's so good.
It was a great series back in the 60s also.
Richard
with,
Jansen, David Jansen.
David Jansen.
Before
And
my time.
Barry Morse,
Yeah.
who played the
cop.
the Tommy
Yeah,
Lee Jones
exactly.
role.
Based on a
Great
true
stuff.
story, a big trial in Chicago.
I believe it
It
was.
was, yeah. No, my dad
actually.
told me about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, Fugitive, it's great. I love it. It's just one of those movies.
No, it's a
that
great
I'll always
movie. I
watch.
love it too. It's you know, it's I'm going to go into that mental masturbation kind of
Yeah, it is. It's
role
not-
model. It's one of those.
It's not going to change the world, but it's going to
not
entertain
gonna
the hell
change
out
the
of
world,
you.
but
know?
it's going to entertain you.
It's great.
Is it
And
best
isn't that-
picture stuff? No, by no means. Of course.
Well, it depends what you're using to gauge what the best picture should be. You know?
Okay, yeah.
If it's here's the thing, best pictures usually are movies that they have a message or they're.
Oh my
very
God, we have
important.
11 views.
Awesome. I'm
Who the
excited
hell
about
are
it.
you who just came in now?
Hey,
Look, my little wings are
honestly,
flying
hopefully it's
away.
people that I have sent to us. You know,
Oh, have you sent people to us?
I've been promoting it a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so my turn now?
I believe it's your turn.
All
Can
right,
you read
I'm
your
going,
ticket scratch?
I'm going to go into here once again a Hitchcockian film, which means
Another
you
Hitchcock.
have to hitch your
Are you
cock-
allowed to do two
you have to
filmmakers
hitch
back to
your
back? at the
cock
same?
to something. Psycho. I love Psycho.
Oh, it's a classic.
I love the film. I watched that film. I probably watch it close to like every 8 months or so. I watch it more than twice a year.
You broke the rules that movie.
I
Many
kind of,
rules.
it really did, but I just love the dialogue. There are certain scenes I actually do skim over.
Yeah.
There's a scene there where wonderful little Anthony Perkins has just he's cleaning up the murder that.
But let's not give any spoilers away in
mother
case some
just
people
did.
haven't
Oh,
seen
I
it.
think everybody knows the whole thing. It's only been parodied a zillion times.
I know, but there's a lot of
But
a lot of young
I do
people
love
have
the
not
film.
seen it.
No, it's true. I do love the film.
And please don't ever watch the Shot for Shot remake by Gus Van Sant. Respect to
No,
them
no,
for trying.
horrifying.
No need to watch that.
Horrifying.
You don't need to
He
watch
did
that.
do a shot by shot though.
It was shot.
You
It was
know,
advertised
a
shot by shot.
It was a shot by shot remake, but Vince
They added a
Vaughn
couple
just
things.
completely blew it. And
You know what they added? They
and
added him
little-
jerking off, looking at what's her name through the people.
oh,
added
did
that.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We didn't need that, but okay.
I was jerking off, looking at her through the people too.
Thanks
But
for that.
Anne Heche, just completely and totally miscast. It's not a great film by any means, but he tried hard. And Danny Elfman did the score.
Yeah,
He just
he's always good.
re-envisioned the score by
Yeah.
Bernard Herrmann, as
Yeah.
as he's known in the lesser class
That's
areas.
true.
But he's known as Herman in the upper echelon.
Oh
if
yeah,
you know what
just
I'm
like
saying.
Target is Target.
Tarzan. Oh yeah, let's go to Tarzan.
Okay.
But it's so truth, ladies and gentlemen. So,
It's a good film.
oh my God, it's already 8:05.
Oh, we got 25 minutes. I told you it
We've
was
already
going to
done
fly.
35 minutes.
I told
dude.
you we could do an hour without even
Dude.
thinking.
That's too much, dude.
I'm not worried about it at all. Time is great.
That is incredible.
All right, can I go now? Or
Yes.
are you still working on
No,
something?
no, screw it. As
Okay.
long as we're going
Yeah,
this
we're having
slow.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
didn't realize we were going that slow. So
I'm
Chris is
going
now going
slow.
to name you all.
We're going fast. It's 35 minutes. More like this.
No, that's what I'm saying. But we're going slow as far as our
Oh yeah, what we're talking about.
film.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had a
Well,
feeling.
why didn't you say so?
Well, who
What
cares?
do you think? I have crystal balls?
Who cares?
I don't.
I know you don't. But who cares?
How
If
do
we,
you know I
If
don't?
we don't get to the 10, we don't get to the 10.
How do you know I don't have crystal balls?
I'm hoping you don't.
Well, I
Because
don't.
it would have broken
Because
by
if
now.
I clang them together, they'd play stormy weather, and lightning shoots out of my ass.
Okay, my next film is a film I know that we've discussed before that you're probably going to also pan. Goodfellas. I know you don't like it.
No, it's not a bad film.
I love
I
it.
don't
It's
like it at all.
my favorite Martin Scorsese film.
There you
It's just have you ever seen a movie about gangsters be more fun with the camera work and the sequences and the music cues? It's
Yeah.
great. It's a fast-paced,
Yeah.
really awesome film. It makes
It
you
is.
want to be a mobster. I mean, and
It
all the
does.
mobsters I'm sure love
Well,
that.
I
movie.
became a mobster right after I saw that film.
So good.
I robbed a
Performances
7-Eleven
are
or
great.
two.
Some great improv moments. Obviously, we know the one we're talking about.
We know the one we're talking about.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
If
Joe Pesci
yeah,
was
he's
wonderful in that
scary
movie. He was
performance.
wonderful. What am I, a clown to you? What am I, a clown?
If I had to
Clown
pick
you?
my favorite scene, that'd be tough. But I mean, I think I'm going to go with the Steadicam shot on the first date when they go through the
Oh,
bottom
yeah,
of the
yeah,
coat. Oh, it's so
Oh,
great.
yeah. That is
The
right.
timing of
Are you
getting
talking
all
about
that-
when they go through the bar?
Yeah, well, no, when no. When he takes her on the first date and they go through the basement door and they go down the hallways
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
kitchen, it's all one shot.
Yeah. But that's in the club.
Yeah, but there's also
night-
another scene where he introduces all
All
the
the
mobsters
characters.
later,
Oh,
and he
wow.
says, "Yeah, there was. I'm going to
Incredible.
go get the papers." That's
No,
a difference.
outrageous.
But that Steadicam shot must have taken an immense amount of choreography. It was so great. And there's a great joke in there that really gives you just a taste of how real these characters were. When Leota and her pass this one guy making out with a girl, he's like, every time you two, don't you work? It's one of the best moments in the whole sequence.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, we have to look at a futuristic, not futuristic, but a movie, Birdman, of course.
Oh, of course.
That whole essence of that spontaneous camera flow to a whole new different level.
I mean, the thing is, any landmark filmmaker, he sets the tone for the generation to come.
I love that kind of choreography.
It's great. It's
great little movie, Robert Altman film, The Player.
Oh, some of the best camera cues.
Oh my God, there's like a 10-minute scene there. Where there's
in the beginning, it's great. It's great.
Now Hitchcock did that too. He did that.
Rope. He did it great with Rope.
Well, Rope was shot in a lot of takes.
But they made you think there was only one take.
No. There's one specific film though. It wasn't. Oh damn! We're going back to the. Oh, you know what? I'm mistaken, ladies and gentlemen. I correct myself. It was actually Orson Welles. He did it in The Magnificent Ambersons. There's like a whole 8-minute shot there where there's just a continual flow. There you go.
I love when filmmakers push the limits of a continuous take.
It's amazing.
I love it. Alfonso Cuarón does it beautifully. Some amazing stuff in Children of Men. Really great stuff. It's great. It's an underdog movie.
I love it.
If you haven't seen it, please go see it.
Yeah, it's a great little film.
It's so good. And then there's some great camera work.
Clive is spectacular.
Oh, he's great.
It's a great movie.
Another great Steadicam shot. While we're on the topic of Steadicam shots,
let's talk about Steadicam.
There's some great ones.
There's wonderful ones.
Check one out. It's really great. It's in Atonement by.
I love it.
It's a great film.
I love that film.
Yeah, you got Keira Knightley.
Oh yeah.
James McAvoy, directed by last name Joe Wright.
Yeah.
There's a scene when he approaches the beach after forget is that World War II that movie or World War I? I don't remember which war.
I believe it's World War. I'm going to say World
War
War
One. World War I. He's on the beach and there's like an abandoned amusement park on the beach and he's getting off a vehicle. He gets on a vehicle with a camera.
Right.
It's great.
Oh no, it's amazing. Amazing.
I just push the limits of Steadicam. It's great. It's beautiful.
Wonderful stuff. I love Keira Knightley too.
She's great. Honestly, I love her. She's fantastic.
Okay, let's move on to my next film. It's once again it's a bubblegum for the brain film. It's not a
give me a clue. I'll try to think what it is.
All right, I will.
I love your clues.
Okay. Well, there is no actual English dialogue in the entire film.
Oh, it's a foreign movie?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
It is not a foreign film, but there is no English dialogue in it.
It's not Apocalypto, probably.
It is Apocalypto.
I didn't know that was in your top.
Yes, it's in my top. I love Apocalypto.
That movie is
I love that
incredible.
Film. It's fucking incredible.
Check it out.
Yes, please. Yes.
It's a feat, that movie.
No, it is. It's a wondrous, amazing.
How did you do that?
Like, oh my God.
The casting of those people. You know the guy that was like the big Aztec king or whatever? He found him
down at a pier.
Yeah, he's on a pier somewhere. That guy's
Mel said because the guy who was actually supposed to do it backed out or broke his foot or some nonsense. So Mel goes down and says, just get me a guy. And he got this guy and he was great. And he's up there going, then they chop the guy's head and it rolls down the steps.
Those decapitations were freaking horrifying.
I'll tell you, that movie just
it
just literally crept into your gut and tightened
you know how he got the idea for the movie, right?
No.
He was on vacation. I think he was in his, he has a whole habitat that
he owns
over in Costa Rica. Yeah.
Downtown Newark.
Yeah, also known as Costa Rica.
That's what made it happen.
He was just doing location scouting for something else, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And he saw a hornet's nest, and I think it fell, and he was in the brush, and they had an idea for this whole chase sequence. And the movie started from a chase sequence.
Oh, I'm not
so
surprised.
It's pretty cool,
and that's all really the film is. I mean, it's capture, horror, and then chase. Yeah. The whole. Oh, look at that! Oh, we're moving here. That's right. It's an earthquake. Oh, Chris, run for your life!
This is not Blair Witch.
It's not what?
Blair Witch. Shaky cam nonsense.
Oh, okay, yeah, the old shaky cam.
Another movie that's a great chase scene, one long chase scene that we all love is Mad Max Fury Road. Incredible. How they made that movie, I'll never know. Thank God they made that movie.
Taken. It's a chase film in reverse. I mean, he's chasing the bad guys.
I
love those.
It's not. I don't think Taken is great.
Well, it's not a chase
Not in the league of Mad Max Fury Road, but it's a good film.
True.
It's fun.
True. George Miller.
It's so beautiful. That's another movie. It's so watchable. Taken.
So watchable.
My father is obsessed with Taken. Anytime
I'll
it's
tell
on,
you,
he's gonna watch it.
You'll watch it to the
so
end.
Fun.
It's Apocalypto, same thing.
Yeah,
if it's on, I will watch it to the end.
They should mix the two. Put him, take a time travel storyline, put him in the going back to the Aztecs.
There you go.
Anyway.
There you go.
We're digressing. Is it my turn again?
It is your turn, sir.
All right. Okay, well, this film we actually just talked about at dinner.
Hey, wait a minute. How many views have we got now?
We're 12.
12.
12
Someone
is not
else
bad.
is logged in.
Yeah,
How
good.
exciting.
I'll take that.
But nobody wants to. Oh, next caller in 27 seconds.
Well, I think they're given a period of time that they can chime in. I don't know because nobody keeps taking the bait, which is fine. Honestly, our first show, we don't need a bidder.
We don't need you.
We're doing this for us.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care if you come in at
All right.
all.
The next film, we kind of talked about it before. It is, if you go on IMDb, I believe, I don't know if it still is, but for a long period of time, it was voted as the #1 film by all the users on IMDb. It became a classic. It did nothing at the box office, and then all of a sudden, because of video, it became this behemoth. Of course, I'm talking about The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
A movie that is so unique. It's so well done. You get everything in that movie, and you get an ending.
I thought for sure you were going to say 50 First Dates. I thought that.
I know that was what I was going to go with.
I thought that was the film that really kind of was.
You know, my Drew Barrymore fixation sometimes has to be pushed down.
Yeah, it does. I know, and just like.
But yeah, so Shawshank.
And Drew sometimes need to be pushed down too. You know.
Don't talk about who you.
No, there you go.
Leave it alone. But anyway, yeah, The Shawshank is just
a great movie.
Amazing.
Great film.
You get everything. The casting. Let's talk about casting. How about that?
Let's talk about the casting.
That creepy son of a bitch guy that plays the old Elmo Blatch inmate. That
I gotta be honest. I've only seen that film once in my life.
What?
I know.
I expect you to watch that soon again.
Well, I'm stubborn.
You remember the scene where
I'm stubborn about that.
The young convict talks about how he was in jail.
That's an inside joke, you see. Yeah. I'm stubborn about that film. You see, there's someone Chris knows who's stubborn and won't watch the damn
My
thing.
girlfriend does not like Tim Robbins, so she won't watch Shawshank.
Can't you
it's okay.
What's not to like about poor Tim Robbins? What did he do to him?
I don't remember why she doesn't like him. But
so she never saw Bull Durham or anything like that. She didn't like any of those.
No. I don't know what movie did it for her, but something turned her off.
Did he do something to her?
I don't know.
Did she know him personally?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe he, ran over her foot.
I don't know what he did. I'll tell you this. I'm not going to
Renaissance fair or something.
But I'm hoping that sometime in the next 35, 40 years, I can compel her to watch it at least once.
If you just tie her down and give her those
Clockwork Orange, like this?
The Clockwork Orange eye things to, keep her eyes open. I know. They can make them watch it like that.
But anyway.
But you'd have to stand there and put drops in her eyes.
I know, so they don't dry out.
So they don't dry out.
Anyway, we're digressing. Watch Shawshank if you haven't seen it. It's just incredible.
It's a great movie.
It's a very, very special movie because
it's a very special movie.
Come on, don't undermine my love for this film.
No, it's a great movie.
Everybody loves this movie.
Everybody in the world.
They do.
They do.
Except you, because you're...
No, I do love it. I do love it. I haven't seen it enough.
You should watch it again.
I did read the novelette. It was a novella. It wasn't a full.
And it was originally called Tick, 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 Tick,
It was
Tick,
the
Tick, Tick,
Rita
Tick, Tick,
Hayworth
and the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, right. There you go. Because he had Rita Hayworth poster on his wall.
She's a big part of the film.
She's a big part of the film. Yeah.
So anyway, why don't we move on to your next?
Put the blame on Mame, I always say, which was a song she did in the film Gilda.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie with Rita Hayworth.
She is a lovely.
No, that's not true. I saw one. I don't remember which one it was.
Oh, she's a beauty. She was married to Orson for a little while there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did.
Before he blew up.
He did Lady from Shanghai or something with it. Yeah. Yeah, Orson was a beached whale for quite a bit of.
But I love looking at him on those old Dean Martin roasts. So funny.
Oh yeah.
Those are great.
Well, he looks like he took up glass blowing and blew the Houston Astrodome. Actually, he really looked huge. I mean, there was something. He did have his own zip code for quite some time.
Poor guy.
But at the same time, okay. Now I'm going to go
into
my next film. I'm actually going to jump a film. I'm not going to give my next film. I'm going to go right to my Woody Allen pick. Which is my favorite Woody Allen film. It is called Play It Again, Sam.
Oh, you showed me that movie.
I love that film. Good. It's hysterical. I watch it. It's incredible.
Now that's the one where he does the thing with the soap, right? The bar soap.
No, that's Take the Money and Run.
Oh shit. Okay.
Take the Money and Run is the one where there's more sight gags than anything.
Okay.
Play It Again, Sam was actually it was a play. I believe Arthur Hiller actually directed the film version.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong about that, but I'm almost sure it was Arthur. And it was literally a play, and it was Diane Keaton and Tony Robbins, and it was just
Tony Robbins was his best friend.
Tony Robbins was his best friend,
not
the mogul who was trying to sell you mindsets on life. But the other Tony Robbins who used to do lots of
I remember enjoying
lots
that
of Woody
film.
films. It was really great stuff. It's about there's a whole the guy who plays Bogart. There's a Bogart.
Oh, that's right. He talks to him. He sees him. Yeah. I remember that. That was good.
Bogart kind of shows up and gives him advice while he's trying to seduce.
It's kind of like when obviously
Diane
Tarantino
Keaton.
Probably pulled from that for True Romance when Christian Slater would be seeing Elvis giving him advice.
It's
a fun plot device.
Absolutely true. And
isn't that what Harvey? I haven't seen Harvey. Isn't that what Harvey is? Got imaginary.
Well, Harvey's kind of an imaginary thing, and so once again, Jeremy Stewart with his life-size rabbit, but that was more of that was more of a fantasy comedy, kind of an arsenic and old rabbit turds. Yeah, arsenic and old rabbit turds kind of.
And then there's kind of like a disturbing version of that, which was Donnie Darko with that weird.
Yeah.
I still don't get that movie.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, I don't get it. I couldn't get into that one.
I think that was about a fantasy about the dark fantasy of the Playboy enterprise. I think is what Donnie Darko was really about. Yeah. But you know, if you see David's latest film,
Which director? I'm sorry,
David Lynch.
Oh, you mean Inland Empire?
Inland Empire.
Yeah, there's a whole rabbit.
Oh my God, there's a whole rabbit subplot.
Another movie that was.
We're going to the interior of
very well done.
Of the brain of our blonde beauty. What's her name? Oh my God.
No, that wasn't Naomi Watts. Laura Dern. Laura Dern.
Yeah, we're going to the inner workings of Laura's brain. Yeah. I love it. I love it. The 3-hour film though, a little too long. David kind of blew it with that one, but
yeah, that was a tough. That was a hard. I remember falling asleep.
Yeah. Chris was here. We watched it. I just gotten the Blu-ray or whatever. We put it on.
I didn't come over till like 12:30. That was a bad choice.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to put on Inland Empire when you're tired after working like 10 hours.
Yeah, it's really a slow mover.
But I mean, it's Lynch, so you're enveloped by it. So when you watch Lynch, you experience Lynch. You don't just watch it. You know.
Very true indeed.
But sometimes it's tough to get through some of his films. But that's the intention.
Okay. All right, play it again, Sam. Your next film is what?
The Birdcage. I love it. One of my favorite comedies. I know you don't like my list.
Now you're not talking about La Cage aux Folles.
No, I'm talking about Robin Williams.
Oh God.
Birdcage. I love it. It's hilarious.
Is that Gene Hackman?
Yes, I love it. I love everything about that movie. That whole last sequence is insane.
Angus area.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I don't care how good La Cage aux Folles is. I will see it sometime. To me, it won't compare to Birdcage because I saw Birdcage first.
Yeah.
You have such an amazing amount of talent in that movie. It's so great.
It was,
I don't know how they kept a straight face.
I don't know how I can keep a straight face listening to you talk about it.
Why are you so indifferent to great films?
No, it's not a great film for me.
It is.
I saw it in the theater and I've
seen it 100 times.
Fell asleep into my popcorn. I had butter all over my face.
You are
I had butter all over my face when I came out of that film. I'd fallen asleep and somehow my milk duds had gotten ingratiated into my teeth, and somehow I had soldered my mouth shut.
Then you watched like Biker Strippers from Hell 20 times or whatever.
That's not true. I don't watch films like that 20 times.
Maybe
5 times.
Yeah, 5 times.
But no, that's not true.
If there's the slightest chance you'll see a breast, you'll be in line to see it.
Oh, that is not so untrue.
Come on.
So untrue. I'd rather see 2 breasts than a single.
How about 3 breasts? Is that why you like Total Recall?
Yeah, I did. That was funny. And even in the second version, I
hate the second one.
Yeah, it is.
I will say.
I know you like the building.
That whole way
the
whole way that they went through the core. Bravo. It's one of the best sci-fi ideas I've ever seen in my life. It's a shame it wasn't in a better film, but I love that.
It's a beautiful looking film, but there's no substance to it.
But it doesn't compare to the original.
In essence, it's true.
Good job. Good attempt.
Yeah, there you go.
Good attempt.
But
the original was just so amazing.
Okay. All right. Did you give your next one?
I did Birdcage. You do your next one.
Okay, let me go for it. I'm gonna go with Blade Runner. I'm gonna go with
you can't dispute Blade Runner.
Is it on your top 10?
No. But I love it. It's not my top 10.
It's a great movie.
I know it is. But it's not my top 10.
And why not?
Because it just isn't.
Is it your top 20?
No.
How about your top 30?
Maybe.
How about your top 40?
No.
How about your top 50?
I don't know.
How about your top 60?
I don't know. I don't know where it is on my
70?
list. But it's a great film.
How about your top 80?
No, it's probably my top 30. Definitely top 30.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's not top 10.
I love that film. Give me a hard copy.
It's a great film.
Give me a hard copy.
It's a great movie.
Give me a hard copy. Yeah, I love the film. Yeah. No, I do. Visually, it's a stunning film, but I will say this.
It's a little slow, but it's great.
Yeah, it is a little slow.
And I think that's why it's not higher on my list.
Every time I put it on, I usually get right to the point where Rutger Hauer is trying to intimidate the
head of the company.
Not Terrell. He's intimidating the guy who made his eyes. There is an Asian man, a Chinese man, and I made your eye. I made your eye, and he's talking. That's literally about an hour into the film, and as soon as I get to that particular point, I say, "Okay, I'm going to bed now. I'll put it on again."
Well, you know what's funny?
But I do love the ending, and Rutger Hauer did do that wonderful impromptu. Where he goes, like tears in the rain. Yeah. That was a line he said. It was totally off the cuff. He just used it spontaneous, and it turns out to be true.
Thank God
truly the essence of the film for me. And
I think the last time I watched that movie was here with you a year or so ago.
Yeah,
and we actually, I think, turned it off after that moment you were just talking about.
That's very possible.
I remember we didn't make it through the whole film.
Yeah.
Maybe I fell asleep. Again, I get over here late and I fell
All right,
asleep.
Blade Runner, there we go. Your next film, Mr. Picard.
Yeah, but I will say, if it wasn't for
Picard, ladies and gentlemen.
Get that hand out.
All right, go ahead.
If it wasn't for Blade Runner, there'd be that movie influenced a whole decade.
A whole genre.
It's funny. Recently, I was watching Running Man with a friend of mine.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, it was for fun.
Please, you can't even mention that in the same.
And I was like, oh my God, these people certainly saw Blade Runner.
Richard Dawson. Oh please, come on, that was hard.
It's entertaining. It's not great, but it's fun. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's like eating at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, Jim Gaffigan jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, my next film, you're probably going to take a shit when you hear what it is.
Uh-oh.
Groundhog Day. I love it. One of my favorite comedies.
Top 10?
I love it.
Oh, man.
It's
a great movie, but I couldn't go top.
First time I saw it.
Classic? I don't know.
I watched it, and then I rewound it on VHS and watched it again.
Oh, no.
I loved it. I love it.
It's such a creature.
It's a fun examination of mortality, somebody who has to redeem himself.
Well, Bill really was in his finest hour. He was in his
great movie. All the supporting actors are great. Very young Michael Shannon is in that movie.
Okay.
It's great. It's a fun movie.
Oh my God, we have up to 13 views.
And rest in peace, Hal Ramis.
Hey, look, 12 people seem to like us.
Good. Well, one doesn't.
But nobody's called in.
No, it's okay.
So the heck with you.
Why don't you do your next movie? I'm not going to linger on Groundhog.
Oh, okay.
We each have 2 more left. Go.
My next film is A Clockwork Orange, ladies and gentlemen.
Would you believe I've never seen the whole movie?
Really?
Not because I've avoided it.
You were here and
we didn't watch that. No, I just haven't seen the whole thing.
Oh no, it's
for no reason other than I just haven't.
Oh God, you silly fool! It's,
no, I love
it's Stanley. It's one of the best. It's just wonderful. It's a classic. It truly is. It's just an amazing piece of work. Visually stunning. It's just
it created a genre.
Magnificent. It is the old ultraviolent. Yes, the old in out. I mean, it was just a wonderful piece of work, and Malcolm is wonderful. It's just a great movie. I love it dearly. I've seen it. I've seen it at least twice in my life. No, I've seen it probably 15, 20, 30 times. I really have. I just love it. You know, it's not a film, oddly enough. You never see that film on cable.
It's not just on randomly.
No, it's never just on. And you don't see 2001 on randomly. You don't see
and it should be.
The Shining, yes, from time to time you do.
I like The Shining. I know people don't like it.
My head looks so large. It looks so
the
big.
first time I saw 2001, I was blown
People
away.
call in if you think I have a big head.
You do, so don't bother us.
Look, we've lost someone. We were 13, now we're down to 12.
It's okay.
They don't like us.
It's okay.
We don't like you. No, we don't. We love you.
Now we're up to 14 views.
Oh, we are?
And 13 likes. We're good.
Oh, okay, cool.
But no, 2001 blew me away. Without 2001, there wouldn't have been Star Wars.
That
movie,
incredible.
And obviously that movie kind of made him a god amongst
All right, I'm going to go into my next film because
no, it's my turn to do my next film.
You just did, oh yeah, you're right.
You just did Clockwork.
No, you're right.
My next film.
Yes. Oh no.
Is one of the most well-acted films you'll ever see.
Fast Times at Ridgemont
High. Almost
High.
every actor in this film has an Oscar of the main cast.
Oh, really?
And it's an amazing thing. All we need is for 2 people in the movie to get an Oscar, then the entire main cast has an Oscar. Or I'm sorry, 3 actors. I'm talking, of course, yes, Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross.
Oh.
Fantastic. What an acting movie. It's an acting film.
It is an actor's film.
It's not a movie that's going to like move you.
I'm going to sit back now. So you lean forward.
All right, I'll try.
Can you lean forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can lean forward.
All right.
But yeah, this movie is, my friends and I quote it all the time. Pacino on top of his game.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him getting the Oscar that year for Selling Woman, he would have gotten
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin and probably his best
Jack Lemmon.
Jonathan Price. Alan Arkin. Kevin Spacey.
Jack didn't win.
He might have been nominated, but didn't win.
He was definitely nominated.
Jonathan Price. Ed Harris bitching the entire movie.
It's great film.
It's fucking great.
I don't love it. It's a downer for me.
A lot of fun.
I'd rather.
It's a depressing movie.
I'd rather gargle razor blades
but I love it.
Than watch it again.
That scene when Jack Lemmon goes to the house to try to get that sale of
it's so pathetic.
The actor's name is Bruce Altman.
It's desperate, like my whole
desperate.
life.
It's so depressing. You're watching.
It's so sad. It's so pathetic.
It's like another version of Death of a Salesman. But it's fantastic.
You know,
I saw it on Broadway a couple of years ago. Pacino playing the Jack Lemmon role.
Really?
And it was great. Bobby Cannavale did a great job playing Ricky Roma. Pacino's role from the film.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I still wish Pacino was playing the role again on stage. But obviously, for an actor, you don't want to do that.
For an actor, you don't want to do that twice.
Anyway, if you haven't seen it, get blown away by the acting.
Get blown away by the acting.
Now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn.
Do your next movie.
My next film, I'm going to go directly into Titanic. Yes, I do love Titanic.
It's a great movie.
It's a great
movie. I'm not going to tease you because it's a great movie.
I have to be honest,
and
though.
He has a thing for Titanic.
I do have a thing for Titanic. In fact, I have my little Titanic replica that was purchased for me by Mr. Picard.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll show everybody.
Please do. But yeah, I love the film, and I don't know why, but when I was a young man,
I bought this for him at the Titanic exhibit.
The
Titanic exhibit in San Francisco, 2007.
There you go.
Just for you.
Thank you so much, and I do love it.
It was a gift.
And actually, there's two little people. Oh wait, where are the people?
I don't know anything about it.
Oh damn it, they're gone. They drowned.
Oh,
what a shame.
But yeah,
there were two little people. It was like it had you know, the people like, you know, on top of the world. But anyway, I do love the film, but I do have a thing about the Titanic. I'm going to share with you a little bit of a dream that I've always had.
Make it quick. We have 4 minutes.
We do? Oh, God damn. 3 minutes. Yeah. Well, then the hell with the dream. We'll just talk about it. I do like the film Titanic. Okay, your next film is what?
You could say a few more words.
Well, I don't have much time. Okay, then I will. I just like the movie. You know, Leonardo doesn't really kill me in the film or anything. It's just about the ship. I just love the whole story. I like how it's romanticized. Specific images, the girl floating in the water. It's a beautiful piece of work. It's magnificent.
Oh God!
Oh my God! I mean,
and that's another movie. When it's on, I can't turn it off.
It would never have been made as it was unless Mr. James Cameron stepped up to the plate and made a film for the world to just,
because he's obsessed with it, just like you are.
And I actually like the theme song. I like the Celine Dion.
I don't have a problem with it.
So many people do. Kate Winslet says that she loves the film, but she hates the damn song.
She's great in that movie. She's underrated. Underrated. I mean,
I think she was wonderful in that film.
No, she's great. I think they both did a great job.
I think she was appreciated. I mean,
her mother in the movie, Frances Fisher.
Yeah,
right?
that was.
She was good.
Clint
she played
Eastwood's
that stern mother, and you know,
she's the mother of one of Clint's kids.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. They had a very tumultuous breakup. That's
they did
story.
Indeed. All right, do the next film.
My last film is a film you're also probably going to vomit on.
Yeah,
but I love it. The Big Chill. Fantastic.
Oh, God.
Great cast. I love this movie. I love the idea of these friends.
I love Kevin Costner in that film.
Yeah, I know. Who was cut from the film.
I love the idea. Well, he plays the corpse.
I love the idea of these. Well, you know how Lawrence Kasdan paid him back? He made Silverado for him.
There you go.
He did.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of these friends getting together, catching up over the morning of a friend who they all lost touch with.
The soundtrack is better than the film.
The soundtrack is great.
Better
has
than
one of my favorite songs of all time in the film.
Okay.
Procol Haron's "A Whiter Shade of Pale."
Oh, there you go.
Which was used brilliantly by Martin Scorsese in New York Stories.
All right.
If you haven't seen that, he has the best segment in the film.
It was also one of John Lennon's favorite songs.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, he's a smart man.
All right.
Anyway, your last
film,
movie, Under the Wire. 2 minutes.
My 10th film is The Sixth Sense.
You know, I'm going to confess something to you.
Oh.
Last time I was here, I by accident, I saw your list of movies sitting over there.
Oh, and you saw that.
And I happened to see that was in your top 10, and I was actually very surprised.
Really?
It's a good film.
Oh, I love that.
It would never be in my top 10.
Oh, I love the film.
It's got a great ending.
It's got 7. Well, no, it's not just the ending.
It's got a lot of layers.
And that ending has been, you know, so duplicated. Where we go through a whole movie, we find out that actually one of the main people in the film is actually a dead person now. That seems to be a more common thing that's going on in the world. We only have 1 minute left, man.
Well, honestly, we can go a couple minutes over. Nobody's telling us we can't go more than an hour.
Oh, really?
Nobody's telling us.
Oh,
we'll do what we want.
Well, are you telling us we can't go over an hour, or you're telling us we can?
I'm telling us. I'm giving us permission.
Well, then we'll do it, damn it.
But you know, I don't want to go too long over an hour. But you can finish your thought.
I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do like about The Sixth Sense. It's 7, 8 little stories in one. Yeah. We have little what's his name?
Haley Joel Osment.
Haley Joel.
And his mother, Toni Collette, fantastic.
Toni Collette,
always
fantastic. Bruce is he's significant yet insignificant.
You know.
Well, no, I like Bruce.
I do too. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Bruce is like a carton of milk. He's always there.
I will say he is a good actor.
He's exactly what he is. He's reliable. You always get the same Bruce Willis in the same genre of older actors who are Clint Eastwood is always Clint Eastwood. Bruce Willis is always.
I will say this about Bruce, that he's always been one of my favorites. I was a little disappointed at hearing some of the bad things that Kevin Smith had to say with Experience, working with him on Cop Out.
Oh, no kidding.
Taking that aside.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, check out. Just Google Kevin Smith, Bruce Willis story, Cop Out. You'll get an amazing story.
What did he say about him?
I don't want to get into it now because I want to finish this thought, but just check it out. Anyway, he didn't have a good experience working with him. But beside that,
what a shame.
He's always been one of my favorite actors.
Well, he seems like he has a bit of an ego thing going on.
But I think he's burnt out at the business.
He's burnt out.
But I will say that I think he's an underrated actor because of the genre he's worked in.
Yeah.
You don't get the respect sometimes. He's a good fucking actor.
He's a good fucking
actor. Die
actor.
Hard is great. That's one example.
I just saw his latest film. It's called The Marauders.
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of movies that have gone to video.
Yeah. Very true.
He did the one where he's like in charge of a pleasure island, where it's kind of like
did he?
What stays on the island.
You're not thinking of Urge with Pierce Brosnan.
No. Bruce Willis did a movie where people can come to this island that he runs. It's like a Vegas. What happens here stays here. People can come and kill. It's like a hybrid of Vegas and Hard Target.
Cool.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It came out within the past 2 years.
Was it good?
I didn't see it, but I know the movie.
Precious Cargo is another movie he just.
Yeah, I know about that one.
Another
Good job. He did the one with Cold Light of Day with what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, but here's one point.
How was that? Did you see that one?
I saw part of it. It looked okay. I didn't finish
see it at all.
Here's my one point about Sixth Sense is that, and this is my gospel reaction to the movie in the theater. I was watching it. I was enjoying it.
Now, did you know that he?
No, I didn't know. I saw it opening night. I didn't know shit about the movie.
It got almost no.
The movie almost had no advertising.
Okay.
But here's my thing. I was watching it, and I was waiting for something to happen, and I was saying to myself, I'm enjoying it, but I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then you get that twist ending. I was like, oh my God. So here's my point. Take away the twist ending. Is Sixth Sense still this great movie? Or is that ending that really nailed in all the nuances that we missed otherwise? Because you look at it
I totally
again,
disagree.
And you catch all the little things he was doing.
No, I understand.
You know
I understand what you're saying. Of course.
So,
well, then we go back and we
learn more.
It's easy for you to say. Yes. But we rewind in our brain exactly. Oh, well, wait a minute. Wasn't she talking to Bruce when he was sitting at the table? No, she wasn't.
That's true. She wasn't.
But the thing I love about this is there's so many little mini stories about the mother who's poisoning her child slowly. And there's
that was such
video.
a disturbing subplot.
So many little subplots.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, there were just wonderful little subplots of that film.
The scene in the tent where the kid's got his head blown off.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many things. I love it when he's just talking to mom and telling her that I see dead people, and the biker, the old woman on a bicycle drives up, and she's been in a car accident. That is why they're stuck in traffic.
That's right. That was great.
I love that.
Oh, it was great.
There's so many cool things.
And such a great performance
Haley
for a child actor.
Oh my God,
he was great.
Dynamite. And then he went on to be in that he did the movie with
Kevin Spacey.
No.
Pay Forward.
No, yes, he did. But he also did his next film, I believe, was it was a John. Oh, damn it, my brain is functioning.
I'm trying to think what he did after
Michael Kane. It was a movie called The Cider Hill.
He wasn't in Cider House Rules. That was what's his name? Wait a minute. That was Toby Maguire. Are you thinking of the movie with Michael
Lions
Caine?
And Kings.
Lions, where they're sitting on the front porch talking.
They're sitting on the front porch. He was still a young man in that film. So very true. And
now he's come back. He kind of had a resurgence.
He did.
There was this weird little TV miniseries he did with Will Ferrell. I forget the name of it.
Oh, really?
It was like a play on a soap opera.
Oh, wow.
But then he did obviously Tusk. He came out of nowhere in Tusk.
Was he in Tusk?
Has boosted your influence score? I don't know what that means. Something just popped up on the screen.
Somebody's influence.
If you guys haven't seen Tusk, I'm not saying anything.
Oh, that is a bizarre.
Go out and watch Tusk.
I don't remember him in Tusk.
He played. He's in Tusk. He's got a big part.
Is
he? He was the best friend of Justin Long.
Oh yeah. Right.
Not saying shit. Watch Tusk.
Oh boy, what a movie that is.
That movie, the makeup in that movie.
That's a tough one to watch.
By the way, Justin Long. He earned his performance in that movie just as much as what's her name did in Drag Me to Hell.
I love Justin Long. Yeah. I agree.
But anyway, I think we've come to the end of our first episode.
We've come to the end of our first episode.
For those 17 viewers,
17 viewers. We thank you. We thank you. This has been our first
show.
moment of madness. Madness.
Okay.
Do you understand madness? Do you know what it is? But very seriously, we will be back.
We will be back next week.
We'll be back next week to continue this.
So let's discuss this real quick.
Of nonsensical jargon.
Okay, next week, we're going to do the same kind of a style. Do you want to talk about our favorite directors next week, or do you want to do actors? What do you want to do first?
Well, I'm
leaning towards actors.
I don't know what I want to know.
All right.
Well,
here's
listen,
the surprise.
What I would like to do is this. We
are
are going to discuss film, with cinema.
In general.
We're going to discuss the very essence of the lights on a screen and the whole work. And we're going to talk about movies maybe of the summer, but
we're going to talk about current movies. Don't worry.
So people can
we're going to review new films.
We can talk about the movies and movies you saw, movies that we saw. And just to talk about films that are of the recent genre. This is a movie review show.
We're getting into the best time of year for movies, by the way.
Are we?
The fall is the best.
The fall and Christmas.
We got a lot of good stuff coming out.
All the good movies come out in Christmas.
Well, those are the Oscar movies, but some of the best movies come out before.
They do.
October's always a good month. I really want to see The Accountant. That looks great.
No, it does look great.
Looks good.
Yeah, that does look good.
But anyway,
how
until
about
next week.
Magnificent Seven?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that.
I heard at one of the showings, though. I believe it was at Cannes, perhaps. No, it was in. I think it was Sundance. I was very disappointed. Left everybody.
Sundance? No, that was January. The movie probably wasn't
okay.
ready.
Yeah,
it must have just been one of the recent ones.
Maybe a Canadian.
Toronto?
Yeah, it might have been Toronto.
Yeah,
and people were a little kind of left off. However, Birth of a Nation got a standing ovation.
I want to see Birth of a Nation.
Want to see Birth of a Nation?
I guarantee that's going to be the big Oscar movie this year.
That probably will be the big Oscar movie this year.
Yeah.
There's an echo in here.
Okay.
Well, all right, folks. We're going to leave you now.
We've
come to the end of our rope, and we're swinging very slowly into the distance.
That's true.
So,
but I've had a good time. This was good.
I've had a good time too. Yeah. It's a pleasure. My good friend Chris Picard.
We're shaking hands, guys.
So known for the rather huge nostrils that he has, because he doesn't pick easy. He picks hard. That's right. I also want to mention.
I've heard that since first grade, by the way.
Oh, blow it out your ass. No. Now, I do want to also mention that this man is a talented actor in his own right. I want you to go and you.
Oh, you humble me, sir.
You can IMDb him, and he's got quite a list of.
You can look me up on IMDb.
Horrifying films. But many of them are very, very.
You could just go to my website. It's on my profile page. It's ChristopherPicard.com. You'll learn a lot there.
He's a very talented human being.
I do my best to get better.
To entertain the troops and the masses and the deaf, dumb, and blind humans. That
look out for a series coming soon called Blue City. I just wrapped the whole first season.
He just wrapped the whole first season. We've got some
film festivals coming up. But anyway, that's all on my website. This show's not just about me. It's about
my head really isn't this big. It's just his head is really small. Okay, I just want to leave with that. But next
your head is.
You know what? Here, you sit there for a moment.
No,
you're
sitting close to the camera. It's fine.
Well, you sit there. Let's see what you look like.
I got to humor this guy, otherwise I'm never going to be able to leave. I got to get going. See, I have an Indian. I'm going to Indian dinner in about an hour. I got to go.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have to leave soon.
Well, I see he does.
Yeah, I know.
We're all right then.
But anyway.
See, now look, your head is so big now.
Well, because I'm closer to the. Well, I told you not to sit so close.
Your head is big now.
Anyway.
I'm just sitting.
We're going to say goodnight, guys.
Okay, goodnight, guys.
We've had a great time.
Yeah, we had a great time.
And I just have to figure out.
You had a better time than us.
I just got to figure out how to stop this. That's pretty lame.
Just log out.
We
just shut the whole computer off. You could do that too.
Oh, and broadcast, yes. We're learning as we go.
There we go. And broadcast.
Until next week.
Good night.
It's been nice. We sound off.
Thank you. And that's it, folks.